Hey, Bo, you ready?
I am ready. How you doing this evening?
Good, good. How about you?
Good. Good.
Good.
All right. Prior to the call, jumped on with the back office. Looks like we have or will have very shortly Solana listed on the exchange, and I'm told that Polkadot, Uniswap, USDC will be coming here shortly as well. So that should help, different folks who are in Coinbase and other activity, bringing other people onto the exchange, like we've talked about for a few different weeks now. Um,
Bell's
also,
on there too.
Bell is on now.
Yep.
Missed the that one missed the cut. Well, that's good.
Yep.
And there's some more functionality in the coins as well. So you should be able to start to do some of the pull down by coin. And I know that there's some work being done on the P&L function as well, so that when you're on there, you don't have to do so much work by hand.
Yeah, you can download by symbol, and you can download if you go into history. You can download by symbol, and you can download by date now, so that you can break it out into your own P&L. But we're working on getting more formal P&Ls ourselves. But now you can at least separate it.
Yeah. And it looks like, from what I'm told, we should be about 10 days away, give or take, from having fiat on as well. Which is important. And then, another really interesting thing that we're doing here too is we are testing out the spendability of our scrap token. So that's just a real fun application there. As you know, we hold that token in high regard, and how that can be spent in our own universe is important as we move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you that the and I would be careful of how to word it. I can tell you that the partnerships that will come in around that token and around scrap in general are are massive, and they're a marrying of the scrap industry with with crypto and our exchange and so forth. So there's some very big projects that we're working on there, not just being able to buy the refined gold, silver, palladium, and other metals, but also be able to, really, see the full growth of that deal. Like that's why we have these things, the market caps built where they are, because we need a trillion there. Because by the time we're said and done, working with other, some public companies, that are potential partners, and some other groups, the market cap's necessary. So very cool things to come in the future for scrap. So, and not to mention, I say it every time, but it's a safe harbor from from inflation, and you should own it. That's that. I'm not a financial advisor for you guys on the phone, but the reality is that that this is an important token at this time, in history. So it really is a great product. It's one of the ones that we're most excited about, for the future. So, and everyone you buy actually recycles and keeps precious metal bearing scrap out of landfills. So, very, the utility is endless.
And what's the math on that again? I mean, it's like for every $500, what is it, a £1,000 or something? And
Yeah, correct. Yeah, roughly. It's a little less than $500. Yeah. hmm
a
Um,
thousand crap out of the landfills, which, on top of the financial incentive, is just nice to do where you can do it anyway.
yep. Yep.
All right. Okay, so I was just going over again with back office before we jumped on some of what we have up and going right now on the some of the games, some of the peer to peer and slots, and some of the other things that are coming out, which is very exciting. Looks like all of that, if not right now, should be up here very shortly, and we'll post an update on that in the news section, and of course we'll repost that into Discord as well, so everybody can get an idea as to what's going on there. But that's going to be exciting because it allows us to do a lot of things with our AWRT token going forward that just prove up use case spendability, fun, in the gaming space environment. So I think it's that's going to be a project you're going to want to pay attention to also.
Yeah, it's just that's the major push of AWRT is, being able to spend it in our environment, and games are a big part of that. Of course, we have Amiga and all the other stuff, but we also, as part of the beta that we've been testing, for a long time, everybody knows they've seen the sports book come up and down, and and we've been testing, trying to get the thing to work right, and we let everybody in the club see this stuff in beta as we do it, which is part of kind of part of the charm of being part of this club, is that we're all kind of in it together and able to to test out the bugs and glitches and find it before we go out to the public with it. But now I think we're able to go ahead and take a look at that and test the spendability of AWRT. The way that's going to work is that you're going to be, and of course we can't, even though we'll have poker and blackjack and of course the casino games, roulette and so forth, and slots and stuff. Even though we'll have all that, we can't. We're not a casino. And you can only win AWRT and spend AWRT. But the way that we do it is we do it through an NFT purchase. So you'll be able to buy an NFT that loads up your account to get your account funded. And then when you do decide to cash out all your winnings, you can choose to have your NFT minted with with your winning and date and so forth. So it's a pretty cool little function. But right now we're in the beta phase, just testing the spendability of AWRT on the packages. So if you've got AWRT, head on over to that and test it out. I think you can see. Do you have the domain for? We have the landing page for that, Bo.
No, let me let's post it up. I think after the AMA. I think it's AWC Casino.
No, it's awccasinogames.com. So awccasinogames.com. And so then you can play around with it a little bit. Do it on your desktop. It's not mobile optimized yet while we're still fixing the functions. But the real core test is the spendability of AWRT. And then once you get into the games, test it out and let us know how the experience is, and hope you win a whole bunch of AWRT. So just one of the use cases.
And you are right on that, so I'll throw that into the chat so people can have a look and poke around and let us know what they think. And then, of course, on the other side of that is, now that that is going up, things like tournaments and games and poker tournaments. Once we get this figured out, then we can schedule those on a fairly regular basis. And I know some of you guys have been in discussions with some influencers in that space, and of course, we'd love to partner up with them, on that side of the project. I think I think that would be a lot of fun, to kind of bring people together around something like that, and just have games, televise it. I think it could be a fun project.
Sure. Yep. And of course, we're going to do the same thing with Amiga and the retro games. So I know we've got those up and ready to go too. I think we'll have the AWRT spendability, the same plugin or the same type of checkout that we're using for Casino. We're using for the Amiga Games Revival. So that'll be up, I believe, tomorrow at some point. And yep. those tournaments are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that can work both ways too, right? I mean, that we can have tournaments for arcade style and tournaments, just straight up, bracket tournaments. Since we're in March Madness, throw up the March bracket and really go after it from that perspective. I think that's, I think that is going to be highly attractional as far as a model goes for the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kruger says, "Give me poker or give me death."
Yeah, well, but yeah, again, guys, just test it out, try it, and again, it's beta, so you find glitches, let us know. We'll pay the bounties on that. I know we owe some bounties too, so all that's coming. It's just we got to. I'll probably get on to that this week here. We'll be able to put those lists out and let you know who earned what.
Yeah, we've got to we've got to keep Crypto Schweitzer in mind that he found a 0 where there was supposed to be an O earlier today.
Yep.
Yeah, anybody looks quite as closely as really a fine tooth comb there.
Yeah, that's good stuff. But that's what we want. Yeah, because it's all about the professionalism as we roll this stuff out. So when we do throw, significant advertising dollars behind it, it's ready. Like the conversation we had earlier, Bill.
Yeah. So on the kind of a new update, I think I don't know if you're ready to talk about it on this AMA, but I think we've got to be ready because from what I understand, we may be live with it here in the next couple of days. Fashion.
Yeah. So yeah, another we do have another token coming out, and it's based on a little bit of mixed augmented reality and stuff. So we'll explain more about that. It's coming. It's just one of the call it a sub project, a side project, that we're working on. But the real the real focus here going into the conference on April 1st and 2nd. Of course, we'll be down in Miami for that Crypticon conference, and the real focus there is making sure that the NFT exchange and the games and spendability of AWRT are working and so forth. So, but we will have that launch coming, and of course, following that conference on the 8th, we will have the final record date for the distribution of HQ Express and Velocity Auto Concierge for those two brand new tokens, which you're not going to want to miss, because HQ Express is a slam dunk. It's and Velocity is just a ton of fun with the Art in Motion project and the Bizzarini and just so many awesome projects, to can't even count them, over there. So lots of cool stuff that we're doing from a standpoint of pairing our NFTs with those tokens so that you can own and participate in all of those great assets. It's just going to be a good time to be part of the club. So it's a really, really unique, really cutting edge, different than everybody else is doing it way for you to participate. And as you know, the club, like we say all the time, and there might be some new people on here, but the club is venture capital meets crypto lifestyle. So it's about what we have done for a living for the last couple of decades, which is invest in time to market projects and and deploy risk capital. And the reality here is that the new cutting edge, the bleeding edge of finance is in DeFi, and that's why we created this club to be so that we could all basically club up and be part of that revolution. And that's about maintaining the crypto lifestyle for all of our members, so that people can focus on these great opportunities and help to expand them and help grow this new market, which is just going to go and go and go. So really exciting stuff. But that's what the club's about. It's about you being able to earn at the same time, that we're bringing great projects and new tokenized projects that have core businesses that we've invested in, that are powering their utility. So, I don't know that there are too many other, clubs out there that are based like this. I sure know there aren't too many tokens, that have that kind of, ground up, foundational, upside. So.
Yeah, and again, I mean, you just look at the news, and of course, we're updating that as we're going here. But I mean, massive announcements from the Amiga Games, Art in Motion, Leonardian, Scrap, HQ Express. I mean, again, the list just keeps going and going and going. But from like you said, going into the conference and looking at spendability of AWRT and true utility in the market, I mean, it's just really really cool from my perspective to see how people are starting to get a hold of the vision and put it into gear. Right? I mean, we've got people on this call right now who have approached us on different projects they're working on. One of which is, I think pairs real well with the fashion side of things, and I think the other, is just kind of a bolt-on deal that is just smart. I mean, it's just the right time to be in that particular part of the market on NFTs, and sort of that bigger rollout, and how the club is helping them facilitate those transactions and helping with the rollout, helping with the launch and all that. I just think is the whole point, right? I mean, it is that crypto lifestyle. It is helping people by providing goods and services that maybe you've got a great idea, but you don't have the necessarily the expertise to pull it off. I mean, that's what we want to do. We want to help out our club members so that they can live that crypto lifestyle. That's not just the catchphrase. That's the real vision and mission of the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that's exactly right. And ultimately, like you said, there's a couple little pieces in there that that you just take a good idea from being something that's on the whiteboard to being something that's tangible. And works with a true balance sheet and future. And so that's kind of the point. And and again, helping all the club members too, so being able to club up and pool the talent is a great opportunity. And so even outside of scrap, that's why we're doing the Leonardian reboot, right? Because the gig work marketplace and DApp, the decentralized app that was 80% complete, on that side, is something that we're really focused on bringing back to life, because it's just makes sense, not just for the entire marketplace, but for our club in particular. To be able to have a marketplace where we can go and say, okay, now I want somebody to create this number of digital cars for me for the metaverse or whatever it is, and you get 25 different responses that say, yeah, I can do that for you in 48 hours or whatever. So being able to pool that, to club up on that, in this kind of cutting edge environment, that's the idea of Leonardian. And the cool thing about that is Leonardian has 40,000 of those people already signed up. That's where they left it, in 2018, and that's part of the reboot and what we're reviving. So exciting,
Well,
on that
and
too.
that's for that right now too, right? That's mostly like a B2B type application. But when you think about opening that up to like B2C or C2C, even on whether it's an artist or something like that. Of course, everybody who's been on these knows my feeling of NFTs. I think are the future and so much of finance. But I mean, in entertainment finance, it's like hand in glove, that relationship. And you think about launching. Okay, you've got 40,000 people doing that type of work, but how many, musicians or artists or people? I mean, we know that they're out there because they reach out to us all the time. So, that reboot is going to be really important, and I think, is a little bit of a sleeper, but has, just tremendous upside in the market. Again, right? I mean, we could just keep going down the laundry list. You look at GiveBucks and what it's able to do, with merchant processing and U.S. Housing Exchange getting close to having their site up to truly be a real, real estate exchange platform. And there's so much happening in this club that there's, and I know it sounds good, but there really is something for everyone.
Yeah, for sure. So don't forget that the two legs of the club are AWRT and AWB. So make sure you've got your AWB in your exchange wallet for the 8th, after the conference, because it's based on our distributions and rewards to the AWB holders for the new tokenizations are based on your ownership of AWB. So put that in your exchange wallet, and you'll get in there on the record date. We'll take that snapshot, and that's how you get your rewards. 11:59 Eastern time on the 8th. And then HQ Express and Velocity are coming over at a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's actually, the most lucrative distribution that we've done in the club to date. And I can tell you that with the future of HQ Express, it might be the most lucrative distribution anybody's done. So, I mean, it's really exciting, from that front. So anyway, but that's the point of AWB is, you own that and you get the benefit of distributions and rewards from projects that we're investing in, across the board every month, every year, for the years to come, because all the venture capital work that we do is being done for the benefit of the club in this deal. So we look at just dozens and dozens of potential projects on a weekly basis. And we only choose a couple that make it, for a monthly distribution for you guys. So anyway, so lots of cool stuff, but that's the cool, piece of, being involved. You can just own that AWB, park it. You can even stake it. You can buy a deckhand NFT, pair it, and sit there and let it accumulate while you get the rewards, for years to come. So there's a lot of cool little techniques in there, and we'll get into how it was built, at some later date when we have a lot of time. But the concept here is, we kind of learning from the funds and everything else that we've worked with and through over the years. This structure inside of DeFi is far more nimble, than the usual stodgy old, I don't know if you want to call it hedge fund structure or,
Well, it's just you have to fit everything into the box that it was created for structure, which in a market like this where it's literally shifting sands from one day to the next. You have to be nimble in this market, or you're going to get crushed by something you didn't see coming.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what's really cool about crypto. Everything can get done in a blink of an eye, and we built all this stuff in months, not years, now. So, of course, the opportunity here is endless for AWB. So, hold that long term, and and then the rest of it you can look at as literally the rewards, right? So.
Yeah, and in a way, I think it's a really good structure to mimic, and we'll probably be following a similar, we'll call it a mimicked game plan for the rollout in Amiga games, to some extent or another. That early movers and holders, are going to be, the advantage will be weighted in your benefit. So. But we'll come out with more on that, kind of a complete roadmap and things for people so they can have a look. But I'm excited at that about the prospect of that project. I think it's you think about hundreds of retro games. Of course, this is for about 100 or so, the initial one. But what that can really do in the market, and the global audience for retro gaming is already built. It's just a matter of tapping into it.
Yeah, and what we're going to do with the NFTs again is, kind of cutting edge. I think you're going to be excited because, those NFTs again, we look at as a way for you to maintain your crypto lifestyle. So, I'll leave it at that, and then we'll come out with something more formal about how you get to participate. Not just in bringing those games back onto these new devices and into the metaverse, but also how you get to participate for years to come, as those games have success and, kind of grow with us in the club and, outside of. So, lots of cool opportunities. Same thing for the NFTs with movies, as well. We are the NFT producer, the credited NFT producer for the film The Performance with Jeremy Piven. And so you'll see a whole lot more coming out about that here in the next week or two.
Well, I believe they just got back from kind of wrap up of a few more shoots over in Europe. which is right in the middle of all this mess that's going on in the Ukraine and Russia. So but again, yeah, I mean, I think we should be kind of any moment now starting to see that start to trickle out, and of course and game plan for that as well. Like you said, doesn't just start and end with this film, which so many of these crypto and NFT projects are sort of one trick ponies, and not to take away from their success, they've had enormous success in what they've done. So many of them, but this club has just so many arms and legs, and whatever you want to call it, hub and spoke model. That it's just exciting times.
Yeah, well, it's also many hands make light work, right? So lots of people participating, stepping up and saying, "Hey, look, I'm a graphic designer," or "Hey, I design websites," or "Hey, I know guys over here in this fund that might be interested," and so forth. And so people get involved, and we hire from within, whenever we can, and we get involved with people from within the club whenever we can. So that's why when you see some of the NFTs that'll be coming out, when you see the characters for our metaverse. When you see, some of the metaverse build and so forth, those things are being done by, if they're not people who are already on staff with us, and they're people who, have been hired or are engaged by the club as, and we're members. So we truly are, community, where we want everybody to participate, and bring their talent. And then that brings that talent to all those projects. So we spread, like, look, if you're trying to hit home runs, you might hit one out of every 10 or something, and we try to mitigate the risk by only investing in what we call time to market projects, meaning that they're not blind startups. They're things that are almost done, that just need a marketing push or some dollars to get over over the goal line, and that's been our history. That's how we always look at projects for investment, and that's why, like, for example, with The Performance, this was a movie that was completed and it needed post production capital. That's how we became the NFT producer. There in that project. So, that's the type of stuff that we look at. And honestly, at the end of the day, spreading that, taking those chances, spreading that risk, mitigating it, but having a dozen, potential home runs is how we all will benefit in the long run. So,
Well, like
yeah.
you said, that is the hand strategy, right? I mean, part of it is, you have people like Mario and his team over at USHX. You've got Ken, over at GiveBucks. You've got, just these stellar teams, in these different projects across the board that really make it interesting.
Well, no, not just make it interesting, make it possible, and then it's their talent that's going to make it a home run, right? So, you got guys like Mario, who have been in the NFL, who know how to do hard work, and who are dedicated and passionate, and really committed to their project. And guys like Ken, same thing. These guys have I mean, Ken has a phenomenal tech that he built, with, really bootstrapping to begin with. And, now it's truly time to market. Now Mario's project is truly time to market. The app's almost completed. They're going to be doing a house giveaway. I mean, these teams are going to take this thing to the next level, so, and when you talk to these guys, you can feel it, you can feel it. So, that's, those are the projects that we love, and then the other stuff, we are always looking at M&A, as well. And we're always looking at where can we partner and where can we do a deal, that makes this whole thing bigger. How do we pick up new players and, new members and, so forth. So, and can we
Bigger,
do,
faster,
yeah.
stronger. I mean, all the way. I mean, it just checks so many boxes. I tell people all the time, that when we talk about the time to market strategy, that came from blood, sweat, and tears of experience of how many deals did we do. That was the first, the one, the only. I mean, those are terrible words to me at this point in my life. I don't. If you're the first person to try to do something, call me in a decade. Yeah, then we can talk about it. I don't want to talk about it today. If
Yep.
there's other people doing it in the market that's succeeding, and especially if it's got a following behind it, absolutely, I want to talk to you.
Yeah. Definitely. But anyway, I mean, the point is there that, we've got some experience, and, and so the way that we pick these is not just, off the cuff. There's a rhyme and a reason for it. And I think as you see how the NFT pairing works, and you've seen some of it with the captain's NFTs and the way that the deckhands work and so forth. But when you start to see how it comes to play with Amiga and how it comes into play with HQ Express, I think you're all going to be really excited because there's just this is truly VC meets crypto lifestyle, and the crypto lifestyle part is you guys. It's the club members. It's all of us. So anyway, yeah. What else do we have on the agenda? Any other particular questions, Bo? Or
Nothing's happening on the question side. That I've seen, with the exception of just in case there's anybody who hasn't heard, the latest giveaway with Saitama is wrapped up. We will be coming out with on test, but we did run into some issues, from people just creating fake accounts or people creating bots and that sort of thing, which just for the record is bad form, right? In case you're out there and listening to this and care about that sort of thing, it's bad form. It slows down the whole process, and it kind of puts a bad taste in everyone's mouth as to what we're looking to love is to grow it, to grow the people who see the vision of what we're trying to put together and understand the club lifestyle. And if you're doing things like creating fake accounts to jump on, it's just it kind of spoils some of that some of the momentum a little bit, because it takes us in different directions, and leaves you kind of scratching your head as to what the ultimate purpose is there, aside from just being self-serving. So we are going to have another contest, but we're going to have to police it, and we're going to have to come up with some human.
I think CAPTCHA, and a couple other things possibly are going to be, instituted and, so forth. But listen, we appreciate the effort and, everybody out there. And we're not saying that everything, this is a couple
No,
out of dozens.
This is one of these, like, one bad apple, not one, but a few bad apples spoiling the whole bunch, and it just is sort of like it just something that has to be addressed, right? I mean, we just have to have a human function when you get to a certain point, which I know is going to put a speed bump in how people get in, but unfortunately, it's what we're going to have to do. So.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, we really want, and again, I know, these calls kind of seem amateur, right now, because like we've always said, we're in beta, right, together, and a lot of the people on this call are the people who have the original founders badges of in this club. They're the ones who are getting the founders badges in AWRT, and they'll eventually be the ones getting the founders badges in AWB, which of which there are only 40 million tokens out there. So that's going to be a big deal, and we want to be able to start these calls talking about real business, talking about real opportunities to make money, and being focused on VC and and stuff. Not necessarily always on talking about the next tech upgrade or whatever. We really want this to be focused on, or at least the calls that I'm on. I want to be focused on the VC side, and so we may as we grow, we may want to be able to start these things by saying, hey, we've got $1 billion on this call, and this group is going to be listening to the pitches of these three companies, of which we're going to decide which one we're going to tokenize and which one we're going to bring into the club. That's how I want to start these calls. I truly bring the VC merge with crypto lifestyle for everyone, and get everybody raise our game, right? So, and we can't do that with bots and fake people and fake numbers. We can help you make money and get rich. That's what we want to do. That's kind of what we've spent our life doing. So, let's work together to try to make that happen. Again, you make that when you do that, you change the landscape, right? It's a whole lot better way to start a call with, one call will be, now we've got a $500 million, we've got quarters of a billion. Okay, we've got $1 billion worth of purchasing capital on this call, and these are the three opportunities that these guys are, going to be looking at. So anyway, those are the calls I want to be on. But we'll be on some other ones too as well, and we'll have other people split up into tech, and some of you guys will be talking about gamers and game stuff, and and we'll start to compartmentalize, and but there is a serious side to what we do, as well. So it's not all bots and numbers. We don't need numbers that can't write. That have no put away power. So
right. Yeah, well, that aren't aligned, right? I mean, again, aligning your interest and aligning it early is important, and to some degree, and I've said this before, it's not just about who can write the biggest check. I mean, the whole point of these giveaways is to identify the people who are willing to maybe grind it out, if they can't necessarily be in a position to write a check. But like you had said earlier, I mean, that needs to be viewed as an opportunity to earn into the crypto lifestyle, more than just the ability just to pick up a quick flip. I mean, again, the stories in crypto about relatively small investments turning into mountains of money, are fairly common. So I mean, what we're trying to do is build a framework here that can support massive wealth building. And like you said before, and just to clarify on this call, in case anybody's new, this is not a meme token or a pump and dump project. I mean, these are all projects that have footing in real life. That have real use case and real utility. That are going to be here for the long run.
Yeah. So the other side of that is too. I mean, and you can tell by the way that we structured some of the cap tables on these tokens with $1 trillion, for some and so forth. One, we have big expectations, but two, we do want them to run, So there is a promotional side of what we're going to do, but there is also the foundational side and the actual, at the end of the game, at the end of the the VC side of what we do, there's a balance sheet and there is, functional business. And regardless of what happens from a regulatory standpoint, regardless of what happens in a world economic environment, we're trying to pick winners that have sustainability, like Scrap, for example, which is a counter-inflationary, project on purpose, right? That's there's a reason, and it's because we chose it, here moving forward, and we think everybody should own some precious metal, and that's the way to do it. So, anyway, lots of opportunity for all this stuff to run, and we want everyone to be part of that and be able to say, yeah, this club made me a fortune, and that's kind of our vision, for it too, and also we help people along the way. We give people opportunity, and sometimes where there's where things are bleak, we bring hope, right? So that's another portion of what we do. But
yeah, I mean, the charitable side of things, the things are coming along. We had a great roundtable earlier or later in the week last week, and I'll have all the notes and things back from that, and a lot of great ideas that came from the club that we will be implementing, and so that people can see. Alfonso, you'd mentioned the last time, like when we did the water project in Venezuela and the children's home and hospital in India. That when we put money into a project, we like to see it all go to the project. Same thing here. Same thing with what we're doing with Ukraine, and helping out there. We will make sure that the money or the goods go into the right hands and get to the people most affected. Yeah, again, I mean, I don't know if we ended up posting that any of those stories from over the weekend, but yeah, I mean, we're hearing testimonies where women are carrying their children, for miles and not able to put them down because they're afraid that something will happen to them, and so they're not eating or drinking anything, so they don't have to go to the bathroom, and getting to the border completely emaciated and whatnot. It's regardless of how you feel about the politics of it from a humanitarian standpoint, it's an absolute disaster.
No, yeah, well,
So
it's only ever about the humanitarian side. The governments are always wrong on both sides. So that's the reality of it. That's just wholesaling mass murder. That's what they do. But there's real people that are affected by that. And so, I mean, and at the end of the day, we want to be able to help with that. We did it in Venezuela in like a breakneck speed, where, now people have water in that town, which is, I think, it generationally affects people in a positive way. So
there's no doubt about it. And what's even coming out, even though the club didn't necessarily get overly involved in the Panda Vida side, what we did on the Agua de Vida side allowed the Panda Vida side to get more focused. And what's happening there is what you would pray would happen, right? We opened a bakery there, and now all of a sudden there are local folks who come in there
waiting for you.
and buy all the
We're family. We eat together.
hang on a second. I don't know who's the family here, but
I think that was
Sorry about that, Bo.
yeah, no problem. Every time I click on the thing, it turns into like a whole cartoon. So I don't know. I think I lost my ability to mute. Anyway, all that to say, now folks are showing up first thing in the morning, all the bread, and then walking around the streets and selling it to people and making the delta, which is only maybe a couple dollars, but considering that the wage now in Venezuela is $4 to $5, making an extra couple dollars a day is massive, and what that's doing, and of course, subjecting all the things that's doing. I mean, there's no question at all that solving a food and water issue is a generational blessing. There's no way to argue that. Well,
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hope, right? And that's kind of the point, is to kind of bring hope and where there's despair, right? So, that's at least my goal, and making sure, again, time, it really comes down to, to a situation where that it truly went to work in the town where we wanted it to go to work, and it created what we wanted it to create. We didn't just blindly give to a charity and hope that it got dispersed to the people we were trying to help. And I think that's the key to everything that we try to do on that front. So, and we're going to keep doing it, and we do it as a club, and eventually, just so everybody knows, the goal of AWC is to have it be a true DAO, and to build out, in a decentralized and democratized way, as quickly as possible. So we are working toward that front as well. So there's lots going on. There's lots of goals here, and lots happening, and we want everybody's input, and we want everybody to get involved as they want to be and can be, and give what they can, of their talents, to help out. So, it's ton of stuff to do. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And that being said, and to that end, next Monday, we're talking about kind of cross-pollinating our Discord AMA with another group who's doing a big NFT launch, for a board game company that they're bringing into the NFT space. Where we're going to do a little cross-pollination. We're going to talk to their group about our Amiga launch. They're going to talk to us about their launch, and I think again, in the spirit of the club, in the spirit of DeFi and crypto, for that matter, I think that that should be a really cool opportunity for both sides to bring in new people and new breath and new life, and some excitement, and hopefully a bunch of new ideas too. Not hopefully, I'm sure it'll happen. Absolutely.
Is there a deck on it? Is there a pitch deck?
We'll have that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get,
just for the record, he sort of put me to shame. I said, when are you guys doing your AMAs? He said, we do multiple a day now. They're on to, like, I guess 5 or 6 a day. So,
people work hard. We work hard, like it's it's a lot of work. We've got a lot of moving parts, right? And we unfortunately right now we're not as compartmentalized as we could be. I think you could tell from talking to the team. A lot of you guys, we've spoken to a bunch of our members, directly. We all have different skill sets, and if we can get to focus on what we're all good at instead of on everything, it'll just help things grow that much faster. So, that's why, hopefully, members get involved as much as possible. So, we're always here to listen. Sometimes we don't, we're not as responsive as we could be because we, literally have hundreds of different emails to get to, but, we appreciate it, and we will, when there's a fit, we try to reach out and we try to make those calls happen and so forth. If you do recommendations and things of that nature, but totally, if there's talent there that you would like to participate with the club, I can tell you we're looking for artists. I mean that's artists, graphic designers, NFT creators, those types of things. And we've already engaged some of the club members in that front, and some groups that were spin-offs of Satama, and some other areas and so forth. That we've engaged some for NFT creation. So we'll show that. We'll show some, and I said we'd throw up a link and stuff too. But we really mean it. Like, we want to choose from within the club to grow the club. That's kind of the point. So if you have free time, if you're looking to make money, from that front. And then there's also, of course, recommending friends and family and, the people that of course, there's 10% finder's fee or 10% affiliate, payout for that, and there's club members who have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, doing that. And, that supports their crypto lifestyle. And I think it's supported their growth, as investors and as business people, because I see some of them coming up with their own concepts now for their own projects and concepts and so forth. And, it's just awesome, to see what giving people that kind of freedom, does, to creativity and, so I'm really happy that the club's able to do that. So, and we're here to do that for everybody, whether you just started, as a member and you got nothing, you can only buy, a couple of AWB and you have a handful of, of the club tokens or whatever, you can earn by, saying, hey, well, I do know this church that could use GiveBucks, or I do know, this business that, that could possibly, use a token, or I heard this guy saying, he's looking for a great project, or he just wishes he could learn more about crypto, and, they get involved, and, maybe they're a big investor, and, 10% of $1 million is, substantial funds, so, you could change your life. You can change your life, so, and it's, and it's a positive, it's in a net positive way. So anyway.
And by the way, of course, all of that is built into our model. I mean, we come from the VC world where deals don't get done unless commissions get, or unless people get paid. So I mean, a good portion. I don't know the statistic, but I'd say at least half projects we have on the table came from club members.
Yep,
right?
True.
Yep. So, and those are people who get to participate in all kinds of different ways in those projects as they go forward. So, again, I mean that's just where we're coming from, and we're serious about it. This isn't just lip service. So, anyway, I think we've covered the bases. I don't see any questions in the AMA question side. So, either there's activity going on another link. Or we've answered all the questions, and it's time to let everybody go back to their evening. Sounds like Todd's got dinner waiting, so I don't want to keep his family waiting any longer.
Yeah, we'll hear from them, I guess, tomorrow, right? USHX usually does an update call on
Tuesday, Thursday, yeah, and jump on there and have a look, have a listen to what they're doing. Again, that platform, and that's a key word, that platform they're building. As a place to modernize the far outdated MLS and real estate structure, really could it be super impactful in how real estate projects get done going forward.
Yeah. Plus, we're giving away a house, right?
Plus, we're giving away a house. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Again, I've said it a bunch of times. Mario talks about, I want to help people fire their landlord, and then giving away a house. You fire the landlord in the bank. So that's kind of my favorite combination.
I'm all about firing banks. Let's do that. Everybody should fire their bank. Let's go. All right. Sounds good, Bo.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye. All information presented on this AMA, technical or otherwise, is subject to change with or without notice at any time. The information is meant to outline general plans and answer questions being asked in real time. As such, the information should not be relied on as the basis for token purchases.